Welcome everybody to Read to You 365, where we read to you books about you. My name's Cristal, and I'd like to read to you today. Today's story is entitled Giant Steps to Change the World by Spike Lee and Tania Lee, illustrated by Qualls. But first, let's look at all the pictures. Vocabulary. Realize. Become fully aware of something as a fact or understand clearly. Relegated. Dismissed to an inferior rank or position. Brilliance. Exceptional talent or intelligence. Fortitude. Courage in pain or adversity. Giant steps to change the world by Spike Lee and Tania Lee, illustrated by Qualls. Everyone has it in them to be a hero. Everyone who reads about those men and women who stood up for what they believed in, who sacrificed everything for a person or love, who took a step into a place where no one had ever stood before, has what it takes to be among those names. You don't have to be the bravest or the strongest. You simply have to believe in something enough to overcome all odds, to conquer every obstacle, and succeed. You need to do what all those people have done before. Jump that first hurdle. Write that first word. Paint that first stroke. Take that first step. For it is in you to be a hero. The only question is whether or not you know it. One chance is all you need, said Owens. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world, said Harriet Tubman. Determination and perseverance move the world, said Marva. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life, said Muhammad Ali. Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give, said Ben Carson. Mother Teresa said peace begins with a smile. This is a Simon & Schuster Books for young readers. Giant steps to change the world. For Satchel and Jackson, S.L. For Satchel, Jackson, Connor, and Carter, whose steps are sure to rock the world. And to Mom and Dad, and all of my ancestors, thank you for leaving such big, solid shoes for me to fill. TLL. For my sisters, Hope, Faith, and Angela, and in memory of my mother and my great aunt Edith. SQ. On some days, your dreams might seem too far away to realize. Listen to the whispers of those that came before, those who had hard days but dared to make their dreams come true. They made giant steps to make the world a better place and left big shoes for you to fill. The road won't be easy. People will try to exclude you, but you must leap over hurdles. Like the Olympic athlete who won the gold, even though he had been relegated to second-class status by the very country he was representing. There will be dark days and lonely nights. Press on through the darkness and keep going. The way the freedom fighters encouraged the enslaved to ride the railroad to safety so that all could be free. You won't always have the answers. Ask for help and guidance. Like the teacher who started a school for children thought unteachable and turned them into scholars. Others may try to force you to ignore your principles. Stand your ground. Like the heavyweight champion who refused to pick up a gun against a fellow human being. If they tell you, no, you are not smart enough, prove them wrong with your fortitude and brilliance. Like the neurosurgeons with magic hands, because they were wrong about him and they are wrong about you. Your heart will ache for your countryman who is hungry. Go to him and feed him. Like the woman who dedicated her life to feeding the hungry and healing the sick and asked for nothing in return. When you witness the ills of poverty and lack of education heap on a community, lend your voice. Like the poet who wrote of the pain and beauty of neighborhoods forgotten. The Negro speaks of rivers. If you stare at a painting and do not see yourself there, paint your own portrait. Let the world see that you do exist and that you are truly special. Like the boy from Brooklyn, whose style was so unique. While some may say you are crazy, wild, or even selfish, you know you are just like the scientist who had a hard time learning to read, but whose theories became the basis for most of modern science. When those whispering in your ear tell you that your country is in need of new leadership and new direction. Make a plan and make your voice heard. Like the man who dreamed of his father, found his own vision, and changed the world forever by becoming President of the United States. That first step is key. You may be so unsteady that you actually fall. But you must pick yourself up and keep stepping. Your might and courage will be the foundation that impacts us all. So when you take that big first step, beware of the worst enemy of all. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Fear of being different. Fear of being the same. Shoot down that fear, like the mighty pilots from Tuskegee, who shot down their Nazi foes from the sky. Take a giant step over that fear, like the giant step one astronaut made on the moon for all mankind. Now it's your turn. Everyone is waiting. What's your next step going to be? The end. And now a little bit about the authors and illustrator. Academy Award nominated filmmaker Spike Lee has appeared in, directed, or otherwise contributed to more than a dozen motion pictures, including the acclaimed Do the Right Thing, Malcolm X, and Clockers. Spike attended Morehouse College and NYU Tisch School of Arts, where he received a Master's of Fine Arts degree in film production. He has authored 6 books in the making of his film. Spike and his wife, Tania, are authors of successful picture books, Please, Baby, Please, and Please, Puppy, Please, both illustrated by Kadir Nelson. Spike resides in New York City. Tanya Lewis Lee is a graduate of the University of Virginia School of Law. She has worked in television production at Nickelodeon and is the creator of an animated series for Disney. Through her company, Madison Company Incorporated, Mrs. Lee produces projects for television and consults on multicultural issues. She resides in New York City. Sean Qualls has created art for magazines, newspapers, advertisements, and children's books. His work is a mixed media combination of painting, drawing, and collage. Sean is the illustrator of The Baby on the Way, Powerful Words, The Poet Slave of Cuba, How We Are Smart, and Dizzy. His first book with Simon and Schuster was Little Cloud and Lady Wind by Toni Morrison and Slade Morrison. He lives with his wife and children in Brooklyn, New York. This was a Simon and Schuster Books for Young Readers. Hold fast to your dreams, for without them life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly, said Langston Hughes. And Jean-Michel Basquiat said every line means something. Albert Einstein said a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Barack Obama said change would not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Keep us flying, said Tuskegee Airmen. And Neil Armstrong said, we come in peace for all mankind. I love you. Thanks for watching. This is a CJT production.